In 1908, the Valve and Fittings Institute appointed a committee on standardization, the Committee of Manufacturers on Standardization of Pipe Fittings and Valves. They continued and evolved into what is now the Manufacturers Standardization Society. This was prompted by issues like inconsistent quality, interoperability problems, confusion due to non-standardized practices, and safety concerns in the valve and fittings industry. Standardization resolved these, fostering compatibility, reducing costs, and ensuring safety.
Well, if we're looking at the history of valve standards and valve standard organization, you have to start with MSS because we are the oldest standards development organization that has been in continuous operation.
There was a valve and fitting group in New York, and they appointed a committee to write standards for valve and fittings. And then in 1924, they fell by the wayside, and the committee that was writing standards moved forward as MSS.
One of the ways that I evaluate companies is to see that they're participating in standards, that they're members of MSS or the other standards organizations, and that I know that I can inquire about some particular detail and get answers that I know demonstrate the existence of competent practices.
I think for a manufacturer, it's vitally important that they are involved in the development and revision of the standards that affect the products that they manufacture. In this way, all the manufacturers concerned are brought to the table, and there's a consensus process to develop the best standards possible.
You as a company are recognized as caring about the industry and wanting to participate, and therefore it kind of elevates your company a little higher than those that do not participate. Another very good benefit is just the access to the MSS standards, which is worth thousands of dollars right there. And when you become a member, you get access to all of those MSS standards.
Another thing that I really admire is things like the scholarships that are offered to members who decide to nominate kids who are going to school and are worthy of scholarships.
A large amount of my career has leapfrogged because of my industry involvement between what I do with committees with MSS and then also with AWWA.
I didn't wake up one morning saying I want to be a metallurgical technologist. I'm very proud of working with the industry. Since I've joined MSS, for participating and serving on committees and task groups for the past 10 years has helped me form new relationships with industry peers and led me to be at the top of my game.
There's a lot of value in even the social times at MSS, just to get to know people and to understand what their background is and try to glean some of that information that they have.
I think for a young person, beginning to get involved in standardization work is a very rewarding and educational and enlightening process. The engineering knowledge that is shared and the learning that takes place with that, to learning how to work in a collaborative, consensus-building environment.
We also publish guides, which is information that we give to the industry from the collective hundreds of years of experience of our members. We can put information down in guides for the next generation.
Just looking at the technologies now coming into play more and more with additive manufacturing, incorporating what is smart technology with pressure sensing and temperature monitoring, Internet of Things where everything's connected. All kinds of opportunities to evolve what our current standards are and incorporate that type of information.
When a manufacturer has to produce a valve, demonstrate that it's safe to use, demonstrate that it's effective, but there isn't a standard out there that actually gets that done. I believe that MSS is going to be able to move fast to develop standards that will address that particular gap, that particular need.
We also brought in outside experts so that we can make it an American national standard at the end. So it's the highest level of standards authority in the United States.
There are other international standards bodies like ISO. They are building standards on a global basis. It is incumbent on us to be as involved as we can be.
There's always something new. Like it was low emission, but we're past that. So then it was cryogenic, we're past that. So now it's hydrogen. Who knows? In the future, maybe space will become a thing. Standards and AI, it's going to go hand in hand in the future.
MSS is less work than you think, it's more fulfilling than you think, and it's less bureaucratic than you think. It's hugely important.
It opens your eyes to new ways of doing things, new ways to approach things, and I think it's pretty valuable. The industry is just that large, and you learn something new every time you're here.
We've made it for 100 years, and it's almost a guarantee that we've got many decades ahead of us.